What's going on, guys? We're back once again, and we're going to be doing another movie review. Now, I did not plan on doing a movie review on this due to I was not expecting to really watch this movie again because I was wanting to kind of catch up on the first one. Now, I want to go ahead and say if you guys have seen the very first movie, which we're going to be talking about, Along Came the Devil 2. Now, the first one took place in 2018, and the other one we had in 2019 of last year. So I was kind of out of the loop of what was really going on with the entirety of this movie franchise. But if you guys do not know nothing about this movie franchise, it has to do with two sisters by the name of Ashley and Jordan. Now, in the very first movie, Ashley, who is being technically raised by her stepmom Tanya, goes under a possession and later finds out that her mom was possessed, as well as also her aunt tries to handle the situation, and it goes very terrible in the first movie. Now in the second movie, you have the character Jordan, who is the older sister of Ashley, who comes back to her hometown, and they both had an abusive father growing up. They lost their mom, of course, when they were young. They thought she died, but no, she's just been possessed for many years underneath the church grounds. And the priest, who is also an exorcist, he's been trying to handle the issues with possession and trying to handle the cases and trying to handle someone that could probably take over. And he's having an emotional breakdown in the second one because he's unsure of what else he can do. He's unsure if he can handle the responsibilities still of being a priest slash exorcist. And when Jordan comes back, she reunites with her abusive father, who has now become clean for many years. He's married again. He has another son by the name of Xander. But at the same time, there are issues with this film due to a few things which I'll later get into. But it kind of goes into whatever this entity or paranormal creature is. It really goes into trying to control the father and the son in this movie, because the son, he acts like he's possessed. Then the father later on does become possessed. And we do see where he tries to even kill his own daughter and son while being possessed. But the entirety of this film, I thought was going to be more centered around Jordan, because you do see where Jordan, she's trying to figure out what happened to her sister, and other characters bring up the events of the first movie, which unfortunately I did not do a review on, so I do apologize for that. I just never thought I was going to. Then we also get to see where she reconnects with a friend. She's trying to see about what's going on with her sister, where her aunt is. And then later on in the movie, we find out that, of course, her sister, we all know, is being locked up just like her mother. We also know that her aunt somehow became in a catatonic state, and we don't know if she's possessed, because at the very end of the movie, we do see where the priest does get arrested after all this happens. And then we also see where the police, being, of course, they don't know, but still it was really interesting by the way they did it, was they start releasing the possessed people. And the very first one that comes out after they start yelling over the radio about, police officers down, we do see where Sarah, the mother, is the first one to emerge from the church grounds. And you have the priest in the back, and he knows what's about to happen. He's either about to die or anything of that nature, because they do say that that Sarah was down there, Ashley, as well as Tanya. So it was kind of like, what the hell's about ready to happen? And we all knew they're about ready to get slaughtered. So we don't know if the characters Ashley or Tanya was released. We don't know if Tanya was possessed, but we do know that at the very end of the movie, the character Sarah, who is possessed, somehow gets into the police car and just yells, and that's how the movie ends. Now, we also know that when the character Sarah was pregnant with Ashley, she was possessed while she was giving birth to Ashley. That does get shown in the movie. Now, is there possible for a third movie? I do think so, because right now it is centered around these two girls, their family, or friends, because we do see the only ones that didn't initially get possessed was the mother. The father did get possessed after his emotional breakdown of, like, the priest tried to tell him about what happened to his wife and what's happened to his daughter. He did not believe him. He had a downward spiral breakdown, and he went back to drinking, which led to the possession of him being openly being upset, being devastated about this, not being able to know how to handle it. and he went back to drinking, which openly opened up a case of possession. Then we also get to see where he did kill his wife, and then of course tried to kill his kids, which I did say. Then we also get to see where there's opening of is the son able to be possessed because of the way he was acting, because he does make a comment to the priest of like, what the fuck you think you're doing, because he was putting salt on one of the steps of the house to try to protect it, but even though knowing that the house was already being pretty much walked through of whatever this thing is. So we don't know if the son's already been possessed a few times, he acted like he was, or the possibility of getting to being possessed. The daughter never came to being possessed, the older one, Jordan. If there's going to be a third one, this movie, if you guys are fans of horror movies, I really do recommend you check this out. This is pretty much between, I really want to say, it really reminds me of Paranormal Activity. The way it kind of is, the way it flows, the way it kind of goes story-wise. It kind of reminds me between Paranormal Activity and a little bit of Blair Witch in a way. And it kind of just goes back and forth because you're not exactly sure what kind, if this is just one demon or if it's just multiple, or if there's an entire plan that somehow to this family. Like, did the mom do something to really, you know, send her kids to hell in a way? So we don't know necessarily what's going to happen. It really left it on another cliffhanger, so we don't know if there's going to be a third movie. If there is, okay, great. If there's not, then unfortunately, this is where it stands. But let me know what you guys think about Uncanny the Devil 2 in the comments down below. Did you guys ever see the first one, or even this one? Let me know your thoughts about the movie in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to the channel, just about subscribing. Links down below. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.